it's Lee from colouringqueen.net and I hope you're doing well today. I am colouring in Wild Soul from Grazia Salvo, and this is from my Salvo September 2022 colour along, and I absolutely love this book. I've coloured a few pictures for it before, and some even on camera here, and I actually think I might be able to finish this book because there's only 40 coloured pages to colour. So I'm gradually working my way through it, through Wild Soul, and hopefully I will be able to get it finished maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. I might be being a bit optimistic about that. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing really well today. I've had a bit of a funny last 2 weeks, I guess. Might have noticed I only put up one video last week. I had an unexpected guest arrive from Sydney that I'd seen when I was in Sydney, and they said that they were going to move up this way. So they came up for a bit of a holiday and stayed one day last week, and then they went away for a few days and then came back and stayed the rest of the week. So that's been really good. We've managed to take them out and go up to the Sunshine Coast and look at lots of real estate because they're interested in buying. Helped them do their resume for some jobs that they want to apply for, and basically it's been really good, having someone to go out for coffee with every day and, to go different places. But you know what it's like when you have house guests. You can't really duck off for a few hours and do things, especially when it's sort of unexpected and you didn't have anything planned. So, but it's been good, just to get out and go for coffee and walks on the beach and take Buddy out and go different places and go on different drives and whatnot and see the area and all the rest of it. I did manage to get lost several times because I rarely ever leave my postcode and we went to places that usually David drives, and one day I got really badly lost. Luckily for Google Maps, hey, so that you can always find your way home. But so we did that, and of course I'm still minding little Billie, the neighbour's dog, and she's a little cutie. She comes here every day, and I pick her up sometimes before I've taken Buddy for a walk, and I take them both because she's pretty tiny. And sometimes I take her, after I've been out shopping and whatnot, and she'll come sit on the chair and whatnot. And of course, as soon as I mention her name, she's woken up now. She's been asleep on the couch. Everyone's woken up and they're all coming in to say hello to you. So if you wanted to see what Billie looks like, here's a picture of her. She's very hard to take a picture. So look up now on the screen, and here will be a picture of little Billie sitting in Buddy's bed, because all the little animals around here like to sit in Buddy's bed, but she is hard to take a photo of because she's just like a little black bundle of fur and she is a little cutie pie. But so she's been here, and it actually, I think it helps Buddy, because he has a bit of competition. So the other day they were chasing each other around the house, which was a little bit wild in a small house, but nothing broke, so that's good. But I think it's good for him, and especially when they go walking, because he tries to compete with her. And the other day he was virtually back to his normal sort of self of running around everywhere, which is really good, because as well as the unexpected, visitor, which was very welcomed but unexpected, we also had, a few seizures from Buddy, and he had a lot of trouble recovering from them, so it's been really rough on him. And I had to pick him up quite a few times. Not much, not like David, who picks him up and carries him up and down the stairs, but now we've got the elevator, we use that. But I had to pick him up and put him in the car a few times, and he's 35 kilos, and I think it must have weakened my back because was doing some gardening the other day, and then I came up and had a shower, and then I was putting on my knickers, and I put my back out, and David had gone out shopping, and I was lying on the floor trying to put my back back in place, and couldn't get up to answer the door, and he's yelling at me, and I'm trying to get off the floor, and it was all chaos. And so it's been nearly a week now, and my back has been out for all that time, so I can't kind of bend over, and I can't get the lower rack on the dishwasher and things like that unless I squat down, which is probably a better way of doing it than bending straight over anyway. So I don't know if it was lifting buddy or the gardening or whatever, but I mean, surely you can't put your back out from putting a pair of knickers on. I mean, I feel so old when I tell that story. It's like I must be some like little elderly little lady that's put her back out just putting her underwear on, but that's truly what happened, and I don't understand it, but it is getting a bit better. It's not quite as sore as it was last week or earlier in the week, so at least that's good, and I can sit down, which is good, so it's all good. It's all fine, and having my friend up, for the last few days has been really good as well. Lots of sitting around having coffee and chatting and eating far too many sweets, which luckily I was doing a lot of exercise to curb the diabetes, lots of walking, but I probably did overindulge in too many bickies while they were here, so it's time for a purge, I think. So, yeah. But, and so little Billie's cute. Yesterday, the girl over the road, Billie, has a cat as well, but the cat doesn't come over here to be minded throughout the day because there is no way that my Millie would tolerate another cat, but it's been sick, so I had to go over there a few times. And when I went to drop off Billie last night, I couldn't find the cat at all, and I thought, oh no, she's gone, to hide somewhere. And I was about to call out a search party, but it turns out that her mummy had come home during the day after I texted her, sort of saying that the cat hadn't eaten or used its litter box, and she'd come home through the day and quickly raced the cat up to the vets, but didn't tell me. And so I thought I must have left the cat out. I was in a panic. I was about to, call out a search party for the suburb to look for this cat, and all along it was at the vets. So, yeah, crisis averted. And I've got little Buddy here at the moment who is getting pats while I am also talking to you. So it's a pretty good day. So what else has been happening? Well, I can't really remember, to be honest. Ooh. I have been watching, we watched a whole series, a lovely subscriber, Gail. You know that you've been trying to convince me to watch Murders in the Building for ages, and in Australia we don't have Hulu. But I eventually found it on Disney Plus, and Gail was totally right. I did love it, and we signed up for Disney Plus. We watched the whole 2 seasons of Murders in the Building within, I think it was 4 or 5 days. It was just so good, and so many twists and turns, and I could never have predicted the ending of it. I'm one of those people that 5 minutes in I go, yeah, they did it, and and this one, twists and turns, no way did I predict the ending. So I'm sort of disgusted with myself that I didn't see it happening, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if any of you have watched Only Murders in the Building. Did you guess early on, the ending, that twist? And also, I can't wait to see season 3. But I think it hasn't been released in the US as yet. But we certainly don't have it in Australia, which is such a shame because it is so good. And the comedy of Steve Martin, I mean, does the guy ever get old? And Martin Short, such a classic. And of course, all the other wonderful actors as well, but I feel like I've grown up with Steve Martin, and to see him in this show and still looking the same as he always has, and Martin Short as well. He's got sort of one of those sort of comedic faces, hasn't he? But yeah, it's such a good show. I just can't believe we binged the whole 2 seasons within a couple of days, and that was it. And it's like, well, where's the end? What are we going to do now? So I don't know. So nothing else is really happening here. We've been still looking around to find another house. We want to get a single story house, but you know, at the moment, nothing's really coming up that floats our boat, and because it's just too hard with Buddy and his, you know, epilepsy, getting up and down stairs and whatnot. So we want to try and get a single story house, but I don't know, the areas that we want to buy in, there just doesn't seem to be anything coming up, or if there is, it's only a 2-bedroom house. And I think at first I thought we could live with a 2-bedroom house, because really there's only 2 of us. But I don't know, I've always had a 3-bedroom house. I mean, David's had a 2-bedroom house, and I really don't know how his parents did it. They had 3 boys in one room that's not even a room big enough for a double bed. It's only big enough for a single bed. And they had 3 boys in that one room, and they had their own room. And it still fascinates me how they managed it. I just can't fathom it. But I do think we need a 3-bedroom house. But hopefully something will come up soon, and we'll get a single story, and it'll be suitable for Buddy, and you know, then we can all live happily ever after there. That's the plan. But today is just miserable. It's been raining all morning, and it was pouring down. I went out to get some groceries earlier, and it was just bucketing down rain. And it's weird because it's spring, and we're meant to, you know, be outside enjoying the warmth. And I still had my woolly dressing gown on yesterday, and it's been actually quite cool and, you know, not springy at all. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but anyway. So I'm going to colour this picture over the next week or 2 online. Today I'm just going to do this bit and maybe a bit more, and then, you know, next week I'll do the face and the hair and things like that. So over a couple of sessions. So I think that's what I'll do, because I don't have the energy, quite frankly, to do it all at once. And I'll do a little bit on screen with you guys, and then because it's repetitive, like all leaves or hair or whatever, I'll do the rest off screen because it's so much quicker. But I wanted to get in and swatch some of my pencils. I sorted them out in the cupboard the other day, and I have got so many pencils in my cupboard that I haven't reviewed, and so I wanted to get some paint chip swatches done for those and get those swatched out. But with the house guest and whatnot, I don't seem to have got to it. You know what it's like. So hopefully over the weekend I'll get to that, and I'll be able to get to finding my missing Black Widow pencils, that I think I might have the full ones now, because everyone's been asking for the updated Black Widow colour wheel, and the reason that I haven't been able to do it is because I lost a couple of the pencils. But I think I've found them, but I have to go through and actually sort them all out and see if I've got the whole set now, and if I don't, I guess I'm going to have to buy a whole packet full again of pencils, you know. So hopefully I have found them. That's what I hope. And if you can hear some rattling in the background, Buddy is not very happy because Billie is sitting in his basket, and she's tiny and he's big and he wants his basket, and she's just she has sprawled herself out in there so that he can't get in, and he is far too nice of a doggy to try and push her out and sit on her or whatnot. So Billie is winning. It's the little pets around here that rule the roost, and poor Buddy, he just goes along with it. And for those of you that might be wondering about Clara Makova's new book, she's actually had some printing delays, and so it's not going to be released until October now. So if you've been hanging out waiting to see it, unfortunately it's beyond Clara's control, and so we just have to be patient for a little bit longer. And I am so looking forward to it, but that's going to be my Christmas present to myself, and I can't wait to see it in person with that light up cover, that luminous cover in the night. But it'll be worth the wait. So if you've been waiting to see it, there's some printing delays, and it'll get out there. It'll get closer to Christmas, so more like a Christmas present for us. So other than that, I don't know what else I've been doing. I was looking at Joanna Basford's new book the other day, Rooms of Wonder, and that's actually on special. If you're in Australia, it's on special at Amazon Australia. Hasn't obviously been released as yet because it's another one due out in October, but if you're in Australia, it's half price at the moment on Amazon AU. But I don't know whether I'll get it or not. Reason being is that, first of all, I really want Clara's book. And, like everyone, I've got a budget, and my budget is really bare bones at the moment. So I really want Clara's book. So I think I might go without Joanna's. And secondly, of course, I've got all of her other books, but I haven't coloured all of them in. Like, I've got pages from some that I've coloured in, and I've coloured along with Chris Cheng. She's amazing for some of them, but I haven't coloured all the pages, so I don't know that I should buy it when I haven't really coloured a lot of pictures in. So anyway, we'll see what happens closer to release. I'll probably go to the bookshop and have a look and see if I want to buy it or not. But at the moment, it's really Clara's book that I'm really looking forward to. So come on, October. And I get that beautiful new fairy colouring book. So I took Millie to the vet yesterday, and I tell you, just to get her vaccines, and I don't know what's wrong with me, because I just said goodbye to my friend who was heading off down south back to Sydney, and I popped Millie in the car in her little cat basket. She wasn't very happy about it because she'd been sleeping in the wardrobe and she didn't like that I was moving her, but anyway. So I get her in the car and I head down to the vet's, which is next to a pet shop that I go to all the time to buy Buddy things. I was away with the fairies, thinking of all the things that I had to do, because my friend has been here for like the last week, sort of off and on, and I was thinking all the things that I've got to catch up on, and bills and whatever things I had to pay. And of course I'd gone past the vets completely, and I ended up like 2 suburbs away, and I had thought, oh well, I'll just get off the main road and sort of loop back. But of course you can't do that, and I ended up in the hills of some suburb that I've never been in, and ultimately I had to pull over and get Google Maps out, all because I just vagued out while I was taking her to the vets. So we ended up late to the vet. I had to call them up and tell them I was running late. We finally get there, and Millie was not impressed. She climbed up my body, she scratched at me, she moved when she was getting the injection, and she was not a happy little Vegemite at all. But fortunately once she got home she was all right, but she actually needs to get some dental work done, so we've got to book her in, and she'll have to she'll have to get a little anaesthetic and get a tooth pulled out, and I hope she'll be okay. But anyway, so that's something else to put on the to-do list, I guess. And what else have I been doing? I can't really remember. Jess, my memory is just shocking. I just can't remember things at all. I told you about the colour wheel. I need to write down a list, I think, of things. I don't really remember anything. Nope. Mind is a blank. I'm going to plant some seeds though on the weekend. I got those out, but I haven't yet gone through them and seen what I'm going to plant. But the rest of the seeds that I've got are doing pretty well. I've got a lot of petunias in, and they're going great guns at the moment. And I've got some tomatoes that look like they're going to come out soon. So I just need to get some more plants in. I'm really pared back on my garden. When we thought we were moving, I got rid of a lot of stuff and I rearranged it, and some things are working out, some aren't, but I'm going to do some planting on the weekend, especially as Buddy eats so many vegetables, so I'm going to try and put some beans in. I think I might have missed the boat on that. Maybe some spinach or something like that, some vegetables for Buddy, and of course some lettuces, because it's been so hard to get lettuce at a decent price here for the last month or so. And maybe some more tomatoes or something like that, or some flowers. I don't know, we'll see. I've got this whole container full of seeds though, so I do need to use them up because seeds go out of date. So I do want to get those used up, so we'll see what happens and see if I actually get some gardening done this weekend without hurting my back even more. And then hopefully I'll be able to get started on that colour wheel and those swatch charts for these pencils as well. And next week I am putting up, I know I've said this before, but I really have to. It's really come to the crunch. I have no space whatsoever. So I'm really going to have to sell some of my colouring books. And so I'm going through them and trying to work out which ones I can part with and which ones I can't, because I have no space. Is going to be painful, but I've started the process and I'm committed to it. So if you're on my Facebook page, keep an eye out for next week. I will be having an absolute ton of colouring books in the next weeks to come on Facebook for sale if you're in Australia, but I won't be posting them internationally. It's too unreliable with the mail, and Australia Post is really quite expensive. Some parts of the world get postage a lot cheaper than Australia does, so it's just too much hassle to post it outside of Australia. But if you're in Australia, then yeah, keep an eye out. You'll be getting them certainly a lot less than what I paid for with postage and everything else. But I've got no space and I can't keep taking up so much room in this house with them. And bear in mind, I've still got a lot in storage in Sydney, so I've got a cull. I've got to get rid of at least half of what I've got here in Queensland, and yeah, then when I ever go back to Sydney and get the rest, I've got to really pare down. And I guess the good thing is it will keep me better focused, because I do get easily distracted with my books, and I have evolved over time to books that I like to colour and books that I like to look at and books that I like, but I just can't see myself ever colouring them, I just don't think I'll ever have enough time to get through them. So it'll be, I think, quite liberating and freeing to be able to go through this and, de-stash and get things out of the way and, work out what I want in my life and what I don't want. But anyway, that's it for my very rambling colour and chat today. If you're doing Salvo September 2022 colour along with me, I would love to see what you've got. I'm a little bit behind on my Instagram, checking all your gorgeous pictures, but I have had quick little scrolls through while we've had our guest, but I will get back to it and check those pictures. And if you haven't joined in the Salvo September 22 colour along, that's fine. I hope you enjoy looking at all the pictures when I post them later on in the month or early next month when I do a video of them. And if you do look at those videos of the submitted pictures, I'm no longer posting them on Instagram because I got a few taken down by Instagram for, you know, one of their weird rules that they have from time to time. So I just thought, well, I'm not going to post them anymore on Instagram. I'll just post them on YouTube and Facebook, and that'll be enough. And I just, you know, say go to YouTube or Facebook. So that's it from me. Until next time, stay safe and happy colouring.